Welcome to the Cosmic Ocean.
Welcome.
I want to start off by saying that we are on the unceded land of the Cheyenne and Arapaho peoples, as well as a lot of many peoples who have come across this land, and it's important to acknowledge that this land is stolen.
So we have a guest today. My name is Fatima.
I'm Nayeli.
And our guest today is...
Dora.
Pandora Bora
333.
You can find her on TikTok,
Yes.
Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Dora Diaz, REI.
So we really like your name because I don't know if we've told you about your 333.
Mm-hmm.
3 is a sacred divine number to the Trinity. 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. 3.
It's just a beautiful sacred
Yeah.
number.
Trinity.
As above, so below. What is the... It's like a very perfect number?
It's the perfect number, yeah. Mathematicianally divine?
Wow.
Yeah, it is a word.
Okay.
Matemáticamente.
Matemáticamente. Okay, so today's podcast is on vulnerability. And to be transparent, we just had a whole moment where we were all forced to be vulnerable. And that was what? My experience, it was really difficult because when I need to be vulnerable, I get very angry because my body is triggered. And to be able to breathe through those moments in order to have a very healing conversation is really hard, homie. It is so
It's so hard. And for me, I don't know if you knew this. I think, oh my God, when you get angry like that, or when people get angry like that, I shut down. So then I had to fight to not shut down.
And that's what I was telling you.
I just realized that. I was like, oh.
For me, it was traumatizing. It just kind of reminded me of my childhood because I can see Fatima's face and I know like what she's going through.
Panic, anxiety attack over here.
And then I could see that Nayeli was her and
Very,
it was
very
just hard to
angry.
observe because Fatima and I were brought up the same, so I kind of knew what was going on with her. And she couldn't find a way out. And anything she said was just making it worse.
But
Because she wasn't allowing herself to be vulnerable.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
It's because I was fighting the shutting down. So the way I grew up, right, it was like always anger. So then I learned how to shut down. And then in my relationship with my ex-partner, it was anger all the time. So I shut down. So with you when you get like that, you remind me so much of your dad. So I'm like shutting down. I'm like, no, I can't.
And that's what I was trying to tell you. I was like, wait, I think that me being triggered this part of you. And you were like, no. Okay.
I didn't hear you.
Okay. So, yeah.
It was a beatdown.
It was a moment. Emotional, mind, body, soul. And I think, we look at the generational trauma and how it really sets us up with vulnerability. So how we grew up will determine our relationship with vulnerability. So you explaining how my dad would just get really angry. Well, I grew up thinking that was normal. Mm-hmm. So of course, that's just and not to excuse my behavior. No, we are working through it. I don't want to be angry like this anymore. I want to be able to have a normal conversation. Like, hey, don't say that word.
That hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I want to get to that point. And we've done a lot of progress.
Yeah.
Dora, you've done a lot of
even
progress.
though it was very ugly, Dora. You were a good sport.
Yeah, you were very supportive.
It was, but it's a lot better. It was way worse before.
Yeah, before we wouldn't talk. Or I would just scream at you. Yeah. And you would scream back or shut down and leave.
My main thing is just I run, I hide, and I shut down.
Yeah.
I don't.
But I liked it because it was interesting to see the dynamics, and I tried to have a difficult conversation with my mom today too. So it was just interesting to see, like, you guys were having a hard conversation. I had a hard conversation.
But it's interesting because I
felt like you guys survived. Like you got to the
we
sorry
made
part.
it out.
Yeah, you made it out.
Crawling.
screaming, no, kicking and screaming. Me.
My mom. I was trying to get her out of the tunnel. She was like, no.
I was like, stop pulling me. But I think with you it was different because you were with my mom, who's like, she's the angry one, right? So she reacts.
Why do you look at me like that?
No. I'm just like, oh yeah, is she angry?
So
she shuts down. I
right.
Like she was shutting down.
Really? Because she's used to the one just dishing it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was a very interesting conversation that you had with her.
Yeah, so then when I was observing you, I was just thinking of.
Like, was my mom able to be vulnerable with you?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. No.
Were you?
Well, we weren't able to disagree. We weren't able to agree to disagree.
But you felt that you were vulnerable with her?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I felt like I was.
And how'd you feel?
Good. It felt very liberating. I was like, whew, I got it off my chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a question. So what determines, because I'm thinking shutting down and being angry, they could be synonymous. Because I feel like I grew up seeing you and my dad, and there were moments too in my other relationship where I just wanted to run, right? Yeah, there were different reasons that I wanted to run, but like also shutting down, and or with you specifically too, like if you've seen me shut down.
Oh my
just
God.
Leave. Like I'm not talking to you at all, but I can also get angry.
Yeah.
But now I wanted to also talk about how when I'm angry, that's also me shutting down.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
you run to, so what is that? So you run to the fear, to the anger, which is so much easier to feel than what you're actually feeling, which is I feel sad, you hurt my feelings, that hurt my little heart, right? Like the little things instead of instead of saying that, which, oh my God, if you would have said that, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you know?
If I would have said that.
Okay. Well,
I definitely, 100% said, anger is the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I'm sad.
Right. But you were angry and I couldn't hear it. I was like freaking out.
Okay.
So then
my delivery could have been
So I think you learned that that's how you express feelings, you express emotion by lashing out, right? And you didn't lash out, you were just very angry. But I think that as we get more emotionally intelligent, we get more in tune with our feelings, we learn how to bypass that, and just instead of being pissed, it's like, you know what, I feel this, I feel that, I am sad, I am hurt, I'm scared.
I feel like I in the beginning wasn't like lashing out.
Right, and I didn't say you lashed out, I just said that you were angry.
Okay.
Well, you were very vulnerable, like you did, and I just think that Fatima's working through it, and I think she did a good job of sticking to it, because it was a good moment to go run and hide.
Oh yeah.
But she just sat here and said, I didn't understand, and I think she did good with that. I didn't think you were angry. It seemed like you were sad because you just got straight to the point, like you were sad. But I wasn't involved, so I can see the sadness right away.
Okay, thank you. Because I feel like when I tell you, I feel like I did really good. You're like, no.
She was doing a good job of just saying how it hurt her feelings, like that word was hurting.
Thank you.
But it did seem like it got heated, and then with all the racket around, because the kids were running around, and
I was just trying to get ready for the podcast.
You keep saying that, and it doesn't make it better.
I was just trying to get ready.
Make it better.
It's true, because she just came here and sat here like,
and I'm in
we got things
crying.
to do.
Like,
I still want to cut the grass.
Oh my God. Okay.
Really today?
Yeah.
See, slowing down. Slowing down. And that's true. I really do. Well, really quickly, I wanted to go into that moment of like on Friday, last Friday, when I was on one, like for real, I didn't realize how bad it was. And then that's why I'm like, wait, so then was it bad or was it not bad? Like, what could I have done better? Because on Friday I was on.
You were more angry than last Friday.
I feel like today, but it was smooth. It was a smooth one, wasn't it?
Okay.
Girl, I've seen angry, so it doesn't.
On Friday, yes, this one was more because I was hurt. I was just having a bad day on Friday, but this one was more. So that's why I felt like.
What do you think?
Hold on, look at her face.
She's not agreeing. She's agreeing. She's agreeing to disagree. She's agreeing to disagree.
I was just thinking.
Okay. Maybe I just won't ask about that. Maybe I'll just take tally of how I
Right. Because I can be like, oh my God, you were crazy, right?
Right.
But you're like, I wasn't.
Yeah. Well, she didn't seem crazy to me.
No, she wasn't crazy. She was just angry. I can say you're crazy, right? I was giving an example. You were just, so like last weekend, you were just angry in general. You were just in a bad mood. It was more of a bad mood.
Not anger.
Yeah, it was a bad mood. And you're just like, ugh, you know.
Right.
But this point, you were, I think at first you're trying to get a point across to me. And because I didn't respond the way you wanted me to, then you got angry.
Or that you didn't acknowledge your feelings.
Yeah.
Por eso.
She didn't respond. That sorry right away. Like, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings.
But then I told her sorry, but she didn't like the way
I
she felt like
explained to you why. That was not.
Right.
She felt like you were like sorry.
And you admitted to it.
Right, but yes.
Wait, so what we said?
Yeah, that you felt like she was just like, sorry, shut up, let's move on.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
her feelings. And I know because I have little kids and I can't do that with them. Like, they get so ticked if I'm like, okay, sorry, get over it.
Let's go.
No.
See,
I have
I'm
to
still
walk
a little
them
kid.
through it. So you have to walk her through it.
Well, I feel like that's just what we have to do in general with people, If I were to do it with either one of you, okay, let's go. You'd be pissed off too. Because I'm dismissing how you feel.
Right.
I'm dismissing your hurt.
I guess, like I told you, I just didn't realize how much of an impact the comment made.
And it's not for you to... Wait, what did you say?
How much of an impact? I didn't understand.
And it's not for you to
right.
understand.
But I didn't... Okay, I didn't realize how much it hurt you.
Okay. But too, I want to go back to that part because you were holding on to that part for a while when we were having that conversation. It was just like, well, I didn't understand, you know? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter that for you it meant nothing. It doesn't matter. And that's what you kept holding on to. Like, well, for me, I didn't get it. It wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, but for me, it was.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And I guess I was just trying to explain that I didn't realize how bad it was, right?
Right. But again,
but now I know about it.
Okay, no, this is good. This is good. I don't want you to fast forward and be like, okay, let's talk about vulnerability because this is us talking
I get
about
it.
vulnerability,
Yes,
right?
Totally.
And Dora, don't be shy. I see you over there.
I'm
say
not
whatever
shy.
you need to say. Interject.
No, I don't have to say anything. No, I'm just thinking about kind of the dynamics in my household with my husband, that sometimes he has moments where he's heard about something. What has worked for me is just to realize it has nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. But just like you say, be there for him. And that has really worked like with us. Mm-hmm. That I realize it has nothing to do with me, but I have to be there for him. Like I say, if you need me, I'm here for you. But not take it personally. Because I used to take it personally, like if he did something, if he was mad about something, and I used to take it personally, sometimes it has nothing to do with me. Just be there for the person.
And I think Dora just made a good point, because it wasn't, as like you said, it wasn't about what I said. It was that you felt that you didn't feel heard from me.
Yeah.
And it triggers other things.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, okay, I get it. So it wasn't about me.
No, it was literally about you. No, it was, because I said, look, it wasn't about what you said or what Sophie said. It was about how you specifically navigated that conversation after I expressed how I felt and how it didn't make me feel good. The faces aren't necessarily about you. They just trigger this feeling of like, oh, she's not open to hear how I feel. Vulnerability for me, the way that it messes with my nervous system, it's like I'm not safe and I'm not seen and I'm not heard, and there's just not an environment where I can be seen, right? And so when you make those faces, it's just validating those feelings, and my body's like, oh my god, what the fuck, should I like be more angry or should I run, right?
I think she was thinking like, are we gonna go there? We're not gonna go there. We have guests. I think like her face was like, we're not gonna go there right now. Dora's here, the kids are here. We're not gonna go there. Let's get it over with. Because I could see her face, and she was like, we're not gonna go there. No, you're
too late. I was already crying. I was already crying.
I felt like she was trying to hold it together. Like, we're not going there.
No, and for me, it's because like when I get nervous, or when I get uncomfortable, it's more uncomfortable. When I get uncomfortable, I laugh. And even in therapy, they brought it up. And it's something that I don't know. It just, Dora does this.
Yeah.
Dora got us in trouble once. So we were in a car accident. Side note. We were in a car accident when we were little. We were, 16 and 7? I was 17. You were 16? 15?
15.
So we were out on Riverdale. It's this road, like this really curvy road.
It's haunted.
It's like haunted. And we were playing. We were like turning off and on the car lights.
I was wanting to
Dora
go
wasn't.
home.
She was in the back. So we were, me and a friend, we were driving. Well, he was driving. I was there. We were turning off the lights, turning it on, playing. At night, it was like midnight or like 1 a.m. And then we like thought we saw something. We freaked out, and then we flipped the car. He flipped the car, and then we were all safe. It was him and I, Dora, and his sister.
My life.
Oh my god!
Before my eyes, like I just had. Like,
for real?
Yes.
And what did you see?
Just like my childhood.
Just
oh
14.
My god!
Her whole long life.
My long life.
You're so rude.
She is rude.
That was.
Sorry.
Mom, this whole podcast is about vulnerability, and everyone's laughing by the way.
I am sorry, Luna.
Okay, sorry.
I am sorry for having you in that car.
I know.
That's because you always wanted to be with me, so.
Okay, continue.
I'm sorry, Dorita. So then we finally called somebody. They picked us up. And then my parents picked us up like at 3 a.m. And Dora was just laughing. I was also I was just like in shock. Dora was just laughing. And so my parents didn't believe us. We got in trouble. I don't even know if we probably got in trouble.
We had to go to school
grounded.
the next day, and we went to soccer practice. And I remember running and
being
crying
like all
because
beat
my
up.
body was in pain. I was like, damn.
And so like 2 days later, when they saw the car, because then they went with the guy to pick up the car, they were like, "Oh shit, they were in an accident." So then they were like, "Sorry." I know, it's so sad. But that's what we had to live with.
Trauma that we have in our family.
So then my parents were like, "Oh, I guess you weren't lying," but there wasn't a sorry. There wasn't a nothing. Like it was, yeah.
It was
so that's when
horrible.
I always like. That's when we realized that our laughing is nervousness, anxiety. But man, yeah, Dora got us in trouble.
But I feel like I've gotten
Yeah.
rid of the laugh because my husband's really intense too, and he likes to have hard conversations, and I hate it. But I've had to have the hard conversations. Yeah, I would laugh, and he wouldn't like it, so he kind of taught me how to have the hard conversations.
Damn.
Yeah.
That I hated because I would do that, like running away or going to my room or shutting down, like. But I had to learn to have the hard conversations.
They're hard. Why do you think they were hard for you? For you specifically?
Oh, just the way that I was brought up. I mean, I think it's just
Okay, let's see vulnerability.
I know.
Let's go in.
Dig in.
Why?
Do you have any specific examples?
When was your voice taken away?
no.
At what
I
age?
don't remember.
When was your voice taken away?
I think my voice was taken away when I was like 6 or 7. I just remember Dora died. But
Oh my! She gets you involved in your.
Well, don't you remember when we lived on 5th? We lived in the little yellow house.
Okay.
And so it was just me, her, and the little brother hadn't been born yet.
Okay.
And so then we would be there, like giggling and laughing.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember.
we would be giggling and laughing at the
During dinner.
having fun, like just cracking up. And then my mom would yell at us, pinch us, and then we would still be laughing about something. And then we would get sent to our room without dinner.
We would take our plates sometimes.
We just be like, we would stuff our face before we would leave. So we were
But
around.
it was so funny because we
6?
still managed to be happy together.
Yeah.
I remember we'd go to the room laughing. The party would
That's true.
continue.
So see, laughing, we'd be in trouble, but the way we got out of it was we would be laughing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we. So then my
Trying
voice.
to comfort.
Yeah. So
yourself
I feel like my voice was lost around that age.
And what
5,
does
6.
your voice have to do with vulnerability?
Because then at that point, it's like I learned that you cannot. It's not safe to say how you feel or what you think or even if it's just like a joke, right? Like seriously, we could not talk at the dinner table. So it's like, why? So I learned that, okay, you can't share. You can't really share how you're feeling, right? The little brother was born when I was 7, so this had to be when we were, and then we moved into we lived in a little house for a while. So between 4 and 6. Do you remember any of that? Or you don't even think about it?
About what?
Like when you feel like you lost your voice.
No, but I'm having my therapy's based on that, losing my voice.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Now that you mentioned it, I like I can never move.
You let it. Let it out.
Let it out. We let it out. Oh.
Yeah. Let it out. You're safe.
I was gonna be stupid and be like, "Quiere llorar?"
I know. You
So
can.
see, that's another
silly
also
thing protecting.
No, it's because it's good for her to cry.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, it's just emotional. Like
Sue.
I started doing therapy because of
She's
like
very
finding my
like that.
voice. Because I was like I got into mentorships. I'm really into Clubhouse, and I was like, why can't I just speak up? Why can't I say my opinion? And I was just feeling stuck, like feeling like, oh, my opinion doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And why doesn't it matter, right? So it's because something happened in like you said, I lost my voice.
And what do you
it's
think?
like a lot of my homeworks with my therapy is just finding my voice, asking for it's really silly asking for favors that I don't even need, but it's just
it's not homework. Dumb at all.
I think it's kind of dumb.
We think it's dumb. I get it.
But I'm going through it.
But
I'm like, tell my therapist, oh, I love it because I did it and I feel good and I feel appreciated, and even delegating like things that I do at work and stuff, asking people for help, and like I just felt like I had lost my voice, and even in the like professional field that it was just limiting my capacity because I wasn't able to reach out, or I just felt like my opinion wasn't that important.
And how old do you think you were?
I don't know.
You haven't thought about it? Did you feel that when we were little we were able to speak up?
No.
I think it's really interesting too. Well, whenever you want, you can come back and tell us, but you were the oldest. So do you feel like that helped you or saved you from speaking up, from having to use your voice?
Oh yeah, because Fatima would do a lot of things for me. And then when I went to college, I kind of found my way on my own. So I did have one, but I just feel like I'm pushing myself to be more like to speak up in different kind of like something like this, right?
Yeah.
In different scenarios that I feel like I hold back a lot, and I just want to speak up more.
Well, I want to say congratulations and that we're so proud of you, because even to today you talked about having those hard conversations, advocating for yourself, speaking up for yourself with your mom.
Yeah.
And that
Which I can't do.
hard.
It is.
We struggled
It
now.
is.
Yeah. So just kudos to you, because
Yes.
you're doing exactly what you're in therapy for. And you're,
Yeah, well, it's a lot of hard work, and I even sent my therapist a message, and I was like, "Thank you so much," because it feels liberating.
It really does.
And then she just I was telling you guys earlier that it felt so good for her to be like, she sent me a reply and said like really beautiful words, and it felt so nice too, like to hear those reassuring words. So
yeah, it is. Especially because maybe like the therapist just, I don't know if I'm reaching, but could be like a mother figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like being, and I'm again maybe reaching, so if you want to. But going back to how your mom took away your voice, so I'm gonna assume your mom took away your voice just the same, and then having this mother figure tell you all the things that you, like you said, I think you said it, you wish your mother told you, like, wow. That is really freeing.
And I find myself like, I like these older ladies.
Yeah. It's a mother figure.
They attract me. Like, I'm like attracted to them because I love hearing all those nice words.
Yeah.
But I think you made a point earlier how we didn't get that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that. And I think one of the things you always said, like, as an adult, when you were little, you never had it, and you were always, you created your own. You had like an imaginary mother figure.
Oh,
Who was actually a real person.
Was it a real person?
Yeah.
She's like, imaginary? What are you talking about?
My aunts lived with us for a while. And she was so sweet. And
Dad's
she
side?
just did.
On my dad's side?
My mom's side.
Oh.
And she was so sweet, and I loved how she like cared for her children.
Oh, the one with 5 kids.
And she cared for her children, and she was just so caring and so kind. And I loved it. So sometimes I would just pretend she was my mom, just to, cause she would even treat us
She
well.
was so
like,
sweet.
She treated us really nice. And another thing that I had my dad, and he's a very caring man. So it just seemed like the parents had flipped. You know how usually the father's like the person. Our parents had swapped. So I felt like even my relationship with my father's would have saved me, you know, because I could have vulnerable talks with him. They were very much about feelings and stuff.
Oh, like what?
That's so interesting. I don't think I ever had any vulnerable talks with any of them.
Really?
Pues estoy como estoy.
Oh.
All right, what you have?
Well, like he would always tell us about school that he wanted us to study.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he would talk about his childhood, how he was sent out to school and separated from his parents, right?
Right.
And then, well, he would always tell me stories of when he was little, like in la sierra and things like that.
Oh, how cute.
But I would always sit outside with him in the garage when he was working.
I think both of us were always
like
outside.
I think if I was a guy, I might have been a mechanic, like,
right?
Because I hung out so much with my dad while he was.
Yeah.
Well, but you could still be a mechanic today if you want to be a mechanic.
I don't want to be a mechanic.
You don't have to be a,
I was
a man
telling
to
my
be a
husband,
mechanic.
I know, but that's what I was just telling my husband that I had a great experience. Well, this reminded me that I was telling my husband that I had a great experience just sitting there watching my dad, like, work on the cars. That they're beautiful moments just of exchange, and that he could have those moments with his kids too, because we take them with us, you know.
Yeah. I feel too, like with Grampy though, there could always be more vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like he's vulnerable with the things that he's and I'm like that. Oh my god, I don't know if you guys are like that, but I would only be vulnerable, quotation marks, about the things that I had already processed, with the things that I had already made peace with. But then there was like this whole other side of me that I hadn't processed, that I would be thinking about all the time, but I wouldn't talk about to anybody because I just wasn't ready. And that for me is like maybe even just that's how I see Grampy.
So we were trying to have a vulnerable conversation with our father, and it was...
I think he did good.
No, he shut down.
Oh, I went upstairs on the phone for him.
Yeah, he completely shut down and said, "Okay, I'm leaving."
And then
So he was
So-
breathing through it, so...
He couldn't.
was he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
wasn't
you're
there.
right
Yeah.
that sometimes I feel like I've done that in the past too, that I can talk about things that I've processed, but things that I haven't.
That's awful.
Like
Yes.
there's some, like when I was in college, I had a eating disorder, and I never talked about it.
You
I
never
just kind
did.
of
Yeah.
got through it and never talked about it, and now I feel decades later I can talk about it because I got
It's in
over
the
it,
past,
but I still don't like to talk about. It's still not my favorite thing to talk about, but I never talked about it.
Are you gonna start talking about it more?
If I have to, but
Do you feel like
but like
it would
it's just
be...
one of those things that kind of like you said that you
It's the
spit
vulnerability
out,
part,
but it's being
that you're not
vulnerable
ready
and
to-
saying, yeah. I feel like I'm ready to talk
You
about
ready?
it if I need to.
So we
but
can have a whole podcast
yeah,
about it.
okay.
Are you just like testing her or something?
She is, and I'm saying I can. She is. So I'm like, yeah, I know I can tell by the love.
Yeah.
You know.
The looks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
can-
the looks.
But I grew up with her, so I already
Because
know.
they're so invested in my looks. I'm sorry.
We can see right through you, girl.
Oh.
No, but earlier my looks were because I was trying to control them. I was trying not to laugh because I was really nervous. And yes,
Okay.
Okay. Or you were like a little bit like you don't want to go there, right?
right. I was like, oh my god.
Why don't you want to go there? Why didn't
Why?
you want? No,
Right?
you. Why didn't you
We were
want to go
supposed
there?
to, did you feel like, oh my god, my sister's here, I don't want to go there?
Oh no, it's like we were supposed to do the podcast.
Do you feel like that? Like you can't be vulnerable if there's company?
Well, I went through a stage. I don't have company that I don't have that
It was like my kids?
I don't have that much company.
Well, because it's just really interesting that you had said that. Hey,
Yeah,
that
I
had
did
crossed
say
my
that.
mind. You said that that's not how you felt, right?
Right.
No, she hadn't. So that may be me. Or...
Maybe you, but also our family.
No, I kind of thought, oh my, should I be here? Should I say something? Should I keep my
Oh,
mouth
no.
shut?
Oh, I
But
think
then
it was
I
like.
just
Oh no,
observed,
you
so-
did good. No, I was just like,
Because I have a
just want to
problem.
film the podcast.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I have to share something too. I have a problem. This is something that I've talked with my therapist that I want to fix things. And she
I do
says
that
that's
too.
why sometimes I have like back problems that I have to find balance. Something, and this is one thing that's really helped me. That she said, some things I don't have to fix.
Yeah.
I believe
I
that.
want to go around fixing things. Like
Yeah.
right away when I was like, what can I say to fix it? And I was like, this is not my problem.
No, and then when you try to say
And then
something,
when I tried to say something, I was screwing up. So
I was like,
Sorry, Laura.
no, it's okay.
I'm not drowning, don't worry.
She's like, I'm listening.
Oh.
I wasn't getting to the point. I was thinking out loud.
Oh my god. Okay, so what were you saying? Why was it a little difficult? Was it really the podcast? Be vulnerable. Really dig in there. Really
I just
look.
I just didn't want to go
really
there, right?
Honest. Why?
I was like, God. I just didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to go there right now.
You're just uncomfortable.
I was
because
like,
vulnerability
I have to think,
uncomfortable.
right? I have to feel. I was like, God, I don't want to cry. Sophie just did my glam.
Oh yeah, where's that glam?
It's off.
I told you no.
We were gonna do the podcast. Like it just, I don't know. I just wasn't. I didn't feel it was the right time or space for it, right?
And then, would there ever be a right time and space?
Right. So I think my lesson is I just need to slow down. A big one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you even said it. You were like, I guess you just wanted me to slow down. Maybe you didn't say it like that.
I didn't say it like that.
How did you say it?
I guess.
You're like my kids when they say their side of the story.
I know. I think you just wanted me.
So take what I said and what she said and find the middle.
I feel like I saw Fatima matured.
Right?
Yeah, because you were like, ooh, I don't want to do, like, she was just breathing through it. And it was interesting. So she's a lot of hand movement.
Yeah.
But she was processing
Me
it.
or her?
You were like crying. You were doing a lot of hand movement, but you were processing it. But you sounded really mature. Like you were just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to walk through. Like first, you just wanted like Lottie said, kind of brush it off. But then you were like, fine, we're gonna do this. Let's do it.
Yeah, when I said I wouldn't get over, I was like, fine.
When you saw me crying, because that's when I
kind of wish my mom would be able to be like, okay, it was just a nice outcome.
Yeah.
My son was, I shared earlier that he was telling me, Mom, I want to get a book at the library. Que no tiene los monos tan feos. And
did you say it in Spanish?
Yeah, because that's what my mom said. And so he was trying to find the perfect comic book that my mom would like. And then I said, you know what? She's not going to like anything. So don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Just be your most.
Just be yourself.
And
that's it.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, and you were going to say something?
No, you're fine. And I'm very grateful for you giving me the space. Why? What is going on? To be my most authentic being.
Yeah.
Because it allowed me...
It's rough sometimes, man.
What? To what?
To hear my truths.
Oh.
Because y'all are very... You come for me, man.
Not in a negative way, not in a...
Right, but I feel like you guys just tell me how it is, and if I wasn't in the space that I'm at now, I would totally like lose my shit. But because I can hear you, I see it, and sometimes it takes me a while to process, right? Mm-hmm. Today was a short little while, but it's hard. You know, it's hard to hear some truths that you don't necessarily understand, I guess.
Yeah, it is hard. And oh my God, and then you hit on a really good topic. Like, I had to process it really fast. Damn.
Yeah, I had
to. The thing is, though, like... But I just needed you to apologize. Okay. You know? Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily... I didn't need you to understand. I just needed you to take a moment, like you really said, slow down and just be like, I'm sorry.
But for me, I need to understand.
Okay.
I always have to understand.
Okay.
Like, I think very logical, right? And you guys don't understand that either. If I don't understand, then what am I apologizing for if I don't understand? ¿Entiendes? Mm-hmm. So I think that's where I came from. That's where I was coming from. That I was like, so that's why I was like, understand, whatever, half-assed it. But when I understood.
But she apologized.
I apologized right away.
She didn't understand, but she apologized. Okay, sorry. But didn't you just say you
right, well, because you were like,
stop dissecting this.
No. I think this is really good. But I think this is vulnerability.
Yeah.
I don't feel as if you have to go into this whole logical perspective to simply understand that you hurt my feelings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can just tell when I tell you, hey, you hurt my feelings. Like, you should just be able to.
But I think that I can deal with that delivery, right?
You're making me laugh.
I can deal with that delivery. That delivery was a really nice delivery. Your delivery wasn't like that.
I know my delivery wasn't like that.
I think the issue here, there was a lot going on in the background. It was very chaotic.
It was very chaotic.
I just kept going up and down and thinking, what the hell is going on? And then the kids screaming and the skateboard, and there was just a lot. And I think
the cat, the dog,
the message was just being lost. If Fatima wasn't getting the message,
I was just like, God damn, let's start.
No.
Okay.
But okay, you're right. I think it's very important when people are vulnerable to understand where they're coming from, right? In the sense of like, I get triggered when you're angry. And so when you come like in an angry way, I don't hear you, right? Mm-hmm. But then I also understanding like, okay, I triggered you, so I got it. Just like different, so that's part of, I think, being vulnerable is to realizing how and where we're coming from.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. And so I guess we just have to talk about, we don't have to talk about it on here, but because again, going back to, I just didn't feel as if I was operating from this space of just anger right off the bat. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like it did come out here and there. And it just wasn't the way that I imagined anger of like lashing out and that's how
it's just little anger because I know you, right? So I know you were mad.
Okay.
Little mad. It wasn't like big mad.
Because that's how I identify
it. It seemed like
you were little mad
and irritated. That
you were no.
It just sounded like it was escalating. That
slowly you just kept seeing the fucking pins drop. 1, 2.
Because Fatima was not saying the right thing. And sometimes it's hard for people to, because it's happened with me and my husband too, that sometimes I am digging myself in a hole that, mm-hmm. like saying the wrong things, and he just wants me to be like, sorry. Mm-hmm. But I've done it before, and I kind of see that we might have it in our genetics or in our,
I don't know, is it learned behavior?
It's just bad that I feel like I've done the whole, to be like explaining yourself and being logical.
It's a really the Mexican thing too. We like to say stories.
Yeah,
no. The trauma is cultural, but I'm trying to understand, like
explain ourselves, pues.
Oh yeah.
So why do you feel the need to explain yourself?
So you can see that I didn't mean it bad, right?
Because we're being judged,
right? Okay.
In a wrong way. Like when I do it, I'm just like, okay, he needs to know that I was coming from like a
nice place,
place, not in this place that he's saying, and it totally got mixed up,
Mm-hmm. And I understand that, and I think because I had to learn how to apologize. Mm-hmm. I had to I saw something that said you have to say I'm sorry that I made you feel this way, and you're always like, are you gaslighting? No.
I think that you don't have to say I made you feel like I'm sorry you felt that way. It's better.
Yeah. No,
really?
No, because you're saying I'm sorry you felt that way.
I'm sorry. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I made you feel sad.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then it's like, I'm not going to do this behavior, and and then pinpointing what it was, and then explaining my intention was not that, and maybe not even explaining.
You
what
don't need
you
to
were
explain.
doing.
I think,
and that's
so
you don't need to explain.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
So you don't need to explain.
But I have a perfect one. So then I got really mad at Sophia for eating all the rice. Right. That's a little right. I made food and I was expecting the rice. The rice wasn't there. I got really mad. I was like, Sophia, you ate all the rice. I got mad at her. So then fine, whatever. Then like a couple minutes later, I was like, okay. So, probably we were driving to Brighton.
You make me laugh.
Sorry. We ended up talking about it at the
and then so I was like, I'm sorry, Sophia, that I yelled at you. I was just really angry because I was looking forward to my rice.
That was really
so I'm sorry. Okay, man.
Okay, see, that was really good.
Yeah.
And it was something little. And then today wasn't supposed to be horrible. It was supposed to be like, okay, you can do it with something little. Now do it with something a little bigger. Because it's the same concept.
But it was different because I had a moment to sit with it. And then there wasn't all this chaos around it. And you wanted it now, right? So I think it wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like, I think I did.
I felt like you were like, Mom, you know better than this. Get to it.
Okay.
Right?
I do think that.
Because you were just kind of pushing your mom to get there.
Yeah. Well, oh my God. Remember in the car right here, she started spitting a lot, getting a lot of phlegm. And I was like, stop. You are you can.
Because I ate cheese yesterday.
Mind over matter. How are you feeling now?
Better.
Como si nada.
But I didn't have any more cheese. And it's been over 12 hours.
Good for you.
No, it hasn't.
11, 12. Yeah,
it has.
So it was 9 o'clock last night. So 9 to 9, 9, 10, 11. It's been almost 24 hours.
Okay, but I also feel like practice what you preach, homie. Because you're over here telling Sophie, you can't think about that because your face will get red. You can't think about that because your phlegm will come up.
Wow, it's a tough life here.
I know.
Tell me about it. Oh, the Garcia household.
It's never ending No, she's like that too with me sometimes.
But no, I think it's right. I think it's right because that's what I talked to my therapist about, like doing the homeworks, like not just going through each session. Like I don't go to my session. She gives me some hard homework that I'm like, oh, should I skip the session because I haven't done the homework, or sometimes I leave it the last day because there are hard things that have to be done. So I think it's kind of what you're saying. We have to apply.
Yeah, be true with yourself.
So that's why now this visit here this year was really hard for me because I've done a lot of work and having to actually apply it and having those those vulnerable talks were so hard. But then I felt that I would be that I wouldn't continue to grow if I wouldn't apply what I'm learning.
Right. Right.
Which was so hard.
And see, for me, I took it with my mother. I took it different. I just, I don't know. Like, I don't have those conversations with her, but we don't conversate about anything. Because we can literally converse about
nothing.
Conversate about nothing. Like, we have there's no sustenance. There's nothing. We just can sit there. Oh, the weather, the sun, the clouds, you know.
But I believe in second chances. And don't you feel like you want to, like... I feel like I had a relationship with her as a kid. And I'm trying to have a relationship with her now as an adult. And they're totally different. And then I'm trying to, like... heal the kid,
but for me,
heal
you as a kid,
do the healing, and then have the adult relationship.
But I think but
with her, she's still a kid because she's not. But
so for me, I'm okay with not having like that relationship with her. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with this. That's why like I tell Natalie, why do you need her to know? Like she doesn't need to know anything. Like I don't need to tell her my plans. I don't need to tell her my victories. Because I don't need that, right? Because I made peace a long time ago with knowing that she's not gonna apologize. She's not gonna be the person that I need her to be, and so that's why I just don't go there. I don't know. I don't.
And that's fine. If that's how you want to operate, that's fine.
I think it is good to build a relationship because then it goes to vulnerability. That I think she because I noticed when I've had vulnerable talks with her. Well, they're beautiful. Like, sometimes when I tell her some of my struggles, I feel like we can get deep, right? And she's actually there for me. She actually says the things that I need her to hear. But it's hard for us to get there, like. Or it's hard maybe for me to open up with her. But when we've had those conversations, we've had a few. And I think she's been there, and I think she can be more understanding if she knows where we're coming from, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I always believe in second chances.
It's a girl.
You do believe in second chances because you still go and
yeah. And I'm nice to her. And like I'm not a total bitch all the time.
I think I read in a book that one of the books an author, I don't remember who, but he said something like, imagine like that person, you suffer when you're around that person. Imagine how that person like suffers alone.
Yeah. So
sometimes it
really bad.
Yeah. And I think what I've come to also understand is she did the best she could with what she had. They both did with their parents, and they still don't have the tools to this day, right? And so,
But I feel like a lot of families live like that.
They do.
I do like the work I do. I work with victims of crimes. One time I had a conversation with a lady and she was just, it ended up being more about like all her problems. And like I was telling her she should find, a therapist because I'm not specialized in that. And I felt like she was using me like a therapist. So I was telling her to seek out for help. And then we went into the topic of, how that isn't really accepted in our culture. And that like how her husband wouldn't want to go. And so then I thought, people need the resources and the tools. And if they do have them, are they going to actually use them? Or do people just want to live how they're living? So it's like people have to choose to...
They really do. To change, to do something different, to grow.
And it's so hard to decide to change.
Yeah. But how are we feeling?
Good. I think we're good.
Follow Hija del Maíz at Hija del Maíz on TikTok. Instagram, follow me at the Nate_area on all my platforms. And then we can now wrap up.
And your TikToks, your lives.
Oh, and my lives. We'll be going back to $10 yes or no and $20 general, as well as private healing sessions. And you can book me on my Linktree. Cool. So this was podcast number 6.
Damn!
How exciting. Thank you for walking with us through this excruciatingly vulnerable journey, experience, podcast talk, and thank you for allowing us into your homes, into sharing this space with you guys. And thank you, Dora, for being here.
Thank you, our
for
special
having
guest.
me.
For being vulnerable with us too.
Thank you.
We
for having
appreciate
me.
you
I
and hope
enjoyed
to
it.
see more of you.
Yes.
Yay! So yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, my eyes all.
Yay, Ashtray!